Hey guys, I am cmasupra, and welcome to another Company of Heroes video. Instead of a gameplay commentary, it's called a video this time. Anyways, this is just a quick British game, because I haven't really uploaded many British games. In fact, I've uploaded one, I believe, and it's my British strategy. That video got really popular, because I mean, it is a strategy for a popular faction. It's 25% of the factions, so... Anyways, yeah, this is just a quick Brit game against a Panzer Elite player on Angoville, which is the most basic map in this game, and I believe it was the first map they actually made for this game when the game was being made back in... Well, it was released in 2006, so I guess 2005 is when it was made, or in 2006, or both. Anyways, strategy. I am using the same strategy I was using before. In my British strategy video, that is. And I found a Kettenkrad at my fuel, so I actually had deviated a little bit, but what I was doing was going for that munitions on the very, very right where my mouse is highlighting right now. But I found the Kettenkrad. I was just like, okay, I'll go damage the Kettenkrad instead, and then I'll go take the munitions, because in the end I'm not going to be losing munitions by doing that, because of the way this works when I go for the bottom right munitions point on this map, because the munitions point is so far away and it takes so long to cap that by the time I cap it, regardless, my HQ is already moving. So I don't end up losing any munitions by doing that, but he does lose time because he has to spend time to repair his Kettenkrad, which takes longer than the time I spent damaging it. So I'm beating him on time right there. The downside is he still captured the fuel, and I can't set my HQ here quite yet because I don't have the point. But then two Panzer Grenadier squads show up, and I have one squad with a lieutenant that have to hold off against them. So it's just like, oh boy, this will be interesting. Let's go ahead and place the HQ so I can focus on this and not have to do too much multitasking here, so I can win the multitasking battle, which I have talked about multitasking in a couple previous videos. So anyways, he decides to not fight me. I'm not quite sure why, because he would have won that fight, but he decided not to fight me. Well, maybe it was because I was capturing his fuel. That was one thing I was trying. When I saw his two squads, I was just like, okay, I'm gonna go capture your fuel, maybe I'll draw you here, and then I can snipe you, which I just did, because I'm using the munitions to cut down his manpower, and then I have manpower and fuel to continue upgrading, or teching and not upgrading. So it is my overall strategy. I'm focusing on munitions and then making sure he doesn't get fuel, because he is Panzer Elite and they need a lot of fuel. No idea where that squad came from, although it's obvious it was the base, but like I didn't see him coming up, so that was a little surprise to me, but I was just like, eh. I'm gonna decap this point, move my lieutenant back to make sure he doesn't get any damage from the squad. And I'm still having my squads capturing the 2 points, because I would rather them capture points than just fight, since I don't have 25 munitions yet to use another snipe ability. I only want to fight when I have the snipe ability, or when I almost have the snipe ability, because it gives me a huge advantage in a fight. If I can eliminate one Panzer Grenadier from the fight, that's 45 manpower that he doesn't have, because he's going to have to spend it to reinforce, and it's fighting power that he doesn't have. His one squad loses 33% of its effectiveness when they lose one more member. Anyways, he has 3 squads here now. I put my lieutenant and 1 squad in the house to protect them. And I almost have the snipe ability. There we go. I tell my unit to snipe that squad and then focus fire on that squad because they're really low health, and I do manage to eliminate that squad, so just like, yes. Oh no! Fire! Lucky for me, it turns out the fire doesn't actually do much to my squads, because my units were not in the windows where the fire exists, or existed. As you can see, they're firing out of different windows. But, I don't know why I was saying but not and either. Wow, I'm really failing right now. Oh yay, I knocked out a Kettenkrod.
Reinforcements kitting out. Stand
The point
by.
I was trying to make earlier was the house was on fire, but the fire was not where my men were in the house, so the fire didn't do anything to my men. So he wasted 15
Forming up. Stand by for replacements.
munitions by setting the house on fire, which it did kind of scare me, but it didn't actually do anything to damage me, which is really, really lucky. Something I do wish that was still in this game is setting houses on fire. Because when the original game was out and when OF was out, Opposing Fronts, you could set houses on fire really easily. But now you can't. They don't set fire very easily at all. Maybe it was when OF came out because of the incendiary grenades that Panzer Grenadiers have when you buy the upgrade, and the anti-building incendiary grenades that Fallstrom Jaegers have. Maybe that's why they did it. So that buildings didn't catch fire quite as easily anymore. Because otherwise both of them would set fire to a house really, really fast. I meant to get in that house, but sadly my opponent beat me to it. But I did get the munitions point out of the deal, so at least I'm getting more munitions. And then I decided to buy a casualty clearing station, CCC, because my lieutenant needs help, and it's just like, my other squads can benefit from it, but my lieutenant really needs it. My lieutenant has very little health. And I'm actually winning this battle. Sadly, I lose a squad. I wasn't able to retreat them. And then I accidentally retreat the other squad because the squad I was trying to click died before I could click them. So I still had the 4-man squad selected when I hit retreat, or T, on my keyboard. So that sucked, but it wasn't too bad. It was a pretty winning fight for me.
Our front lines are collapsing.
And now the casualty clearing station is going and gathering up some people. Yay! But then there's a mortar firing right on my lieutenant and my men now. So that really sucks. It's just like, oh boy. Well, my squads do have a lot of health. So let's go and find that mortar and at least make it move somewhere else. And I decide to snipe the one guy in the building, and that eliminates that squad. It's a very, no. It was really worth that 25 munitions to kill that whole squad off, because now he can't spend 90 to get 2 guys back, he has to spend 255 to get all 3 guys back. Huge benefit to me by sniping that whole squad out. And I did manage to push off the mortar, but you'll see later it doesn't actually do me much good. Why did I retreat them? Oh, they're 4-man, I think. I don't know, why did I retreat them? Ah, now the mortar's backfiring. Anyways, overall strategy right now is take the whole right side and then proceed to cut him off on the left side so he doesn't have any resource income.
Infantry section is being reinforced.
Trying to do that is proving to be a little difficult. I do have one squad on the left side going to cut him off, as you might be able to see on the minimap. And I decided to build a mortar. It's just like, okay, well I can't easily capture the bottom right side of the map because you're shelling me with mortars. So what I'm going to do is put a mortar up there so you can't have it either. And I send both of my squads to build it because I want it built faster, and I upgrade one of them to Brins rather than the scout squad, the sniper recon squad, whatever you want to call it, because it's about time for me to get Brins, because he might be getting vehicles sometime soon. He already could afford a mortar, and next thing I know he'll be able to afford an armored car. And sniper recon squads are not going to do much against an armored car, so I need Brins. So I didn't perform too well with my strategy here, because I'm just not playing at my best in this game, but I was able to hold his manpower down to where he didn't have much of it, so that prevented him from using his fuel to buy things. Instead, he was busy reinforcing squads to keep map control. And he decided to suppress my squad on the left with his G43s, but I decided to just stick around and wait for the sniper ability to recharge, and then I'll snipe him again. But oh noes, He has a booby trap. Move, you slow squads. There we go. Nobody's getting hurt from the explosion now. Hey, the ability recharged. Sadly, it didn't get to go off. He retreated before that, but at least his flame grenade didn't do anything. That's the positive side. He just wasted 15 munitions. And the squad capturing that point is getting pelted by a mortar. So I decide to retreat them somewhere here. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe I capture the point and then retreat. I don't know. But I send my Bren squad to go fight the infantry, and then he decides to go in that house. I guess it's not a well-known fact, but that house is a death trap for anything that goes in it, including MG squads, or any high health squad. And the reason for that is everyone is so close together in that house that if anything decides to go in that house, or even bullets, if they decide to go in that house, there's a high chance they'll hit something, one of your units if you're in that house. And the second reason it's a death trap is because it's plain wooden, and bullets easily penetrate wooden houses, any kind of wood in this game. So it's not a very good house. It's pretty much a death trap. But my opponent disconnected because I totally cut him off from the left side, and, well, except for the 2 points at the bottom. And I had the whole right side, so he wasn't getting much income while I was getting a lot of income. And I also had a lot more infantry on the field. He didn't have much infantry, and his mortar wasn't doing all that well. So, yeah, it's a nice example of how my strategy can win games, even if you don't do it quite perfectly. Although I do recommend doing it perfectly, because it'll work a whole lot better than if you don't do it perfectly. But that's true with anything that you can do perfect. Anyways, so we had tier 2 and tier 4, so we did have enough fuel to build tier 4, but he didn't have anything that was going to be able to use it. And you also might have seen that I had just gotten my captain out in the field, so I was going to build a Stewart next. But the game ended before I could build a Stewart, but I was going to build the Stewart because I expected him to have something to counter my infantry, some vehicle, because he had the whole left side for quite a while. He had some fuel saved up, but nope, he disconnected before that. So yeah, I ended up winning, and the Stewart never came out or even started being produced. I don't know. Maybe I did start producing. I don't know. Anyways, I hope you guys have enjoyed this quick game, really, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.